Alright, taking an RPG, we're back, and we're going to talk about Microsoft's E3 press conference.
And all the fun stuff they showed.
So they started off with Mugshot 5, which I thought was pretty awesome. But then it was weird because I was thinking to myself, wait a minute, this is multi-platform, so yay, he's on PS4.
Yeah, because it was weird at first, because I don't remember whether or not they had confirmed that it was going to be multi-platform at first when they were talking about it on the PS3 and whatnot, or did they even confirm a
Actually,
platform
I'm
at first?
confused on what platform it is on. I think it is PS3 and 360, but I'm not sure if it's on PS4 and Xbox One. So.
Because, yeah, when they were showing it, I was like, wait a minute, I don't remember them even confirming platforms at all for this, so...
Yeah, and then, the serious thing is, I was super, weirded out because I thought, Microsoft would, start strong with, a Xbox One, can only be got on the next-gen consoles, on our console, blah, 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 but they totally did, and I was like, oh, it's a multi-platform game from a third-party company. That was unexpected, so, yeah.
Although it was pretty, though. A little, I didn't know if it was, an actual trailer or just, the usual Kojima thing going on. Because, it didn't seem like your usual Metal Gear Solid from what they were showing. Especially with the stuff we saw from the weird teaser stuff that was going on with the Phantom Pain and,
Oh, you mean because it was just, in, a desert?
Ground Zeroes, I mean. Yeah, it just seemed...
Yeah, it was weird because when I was watching, I was like, this kind of reminds me of Red Dead Redemption. He's on a horse.
I was like, this doesn't look...
It's all deserty.
No. Yeah, so it was kind of weird because after Ground Zeroes and stuff, it just didn't look like I was expecting and stuff. So that was cool. Looked pretty, which I guess to be expected because it is a Metal Gear Solid game.
Yeah, that was funny. I was thinking to myself, as I was watching, it's you know what? I'm never gonna say anything again if Hideo Kojima is I'm gonna make another one because I'm looking at this and I'm I can't wait to play this game. It's you do what you want, Kojima. Even if I say you shouldn't make another one because I cannot wait to play this game and it looks amazing and I cannot wait to play it. And yeah, CQC and stealth and so good.
They also have stuff like child soldiers and blood diamonds and stuff in it, so I was like, oh no. They're going to be all dark and stuff, so should be cool. So we'll see how that goes. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, and then Snake is Punished Snake, and you have a Ocelot character and a Emmerich character, so I'm not sure if it's Otacon's dad or grandfather, or it's in the future, in the past, who knows?
Didn't he say Snake was
Oh, it's probably in the past, though, actually.
He said he was 50 or something in this?
I don't remember.
I think that's because I saw stories or something saying he's old, but it's I'm pretty sure in Metal Gear Solid 4 he was really old, wasn't he? So, so I don't know. Not sure when this game takes place, but yeah, it's happening.
Oh man, but yeah, I guess we'll find out when we didn't get to play it finally. And then they went from that to 360 games. But then before they went to 360 games, they showed a redesigned 360 that basically looks like the Xbox One, and it's smaller, sleeker, quiet, and it's available now. And they said that Xbox Live Gold will carry over to Xbox One, and that now, similarly to PlayStation Plus, you get 2 free games with your Gold membership, and the 2 free games that they're going to have, I think it's starting in July, is Assassin's Creed 2 and Halo 3, which I thought was pretty funny because I'm well, if anybody's a person that buys games on a normal basis,
they probably already have these.
Yeah. They probably have these games because I had both those games. I was well, this doesn't help me at all.
Yeah, that was good.
You're not filling any slots in my backlog, or my back catalog of games I do not have that I want to play.
But did they say They said they were gonna do what? It was free every month or something like that, or?
Yeah, 2 per month. If you have Xbox Live Gold membership.
I see. So they're kind of trying to do what the PlayStation Plus is doing with the whole free library of games or something.
Pretty much.
Except there's only 2 games compared to there, so But it's better than nothing, I guess.
And then they showed 3 new Xbox 360 games, which were World of Tanks Xbox 360 Edition, which is free to play and coming this summer. Max: The Curse of Brotherhood, which was some platformy game, and Dark Souls 2. Which isn't that multi-platform?
Wait, what? What is it?
Dark Souls 2.
Oh, yeah. They did show
Okay.
that trailer. It's multi-platform.
Just trying to keep score of like the exclusives versus the non-exclusives.
Although the teaser didn't really show much about the game itself, or at least the stuff that they were showing, like in the developer diaries and stuff. So, oh well, these, but still.
And then from here on out, they've just showed Xbox One stuff. So they showed Rise: Son of Rome, which is going to be exclusive and available at launch. Actually, I think this is the part where they showed like all these games that they mentioned in the first part of the conference, which we had like 13 exclusive games, 8 of which are blah blah blah, whatever, first party, blah blah blah, whatever. I'm sorry, I'm tired. I'm just like so over it. So yeah. I've been up for like 20 hours. I'm sorry. I've been trying to catch up on E3 stuff, but so they showed this game. And I don't know. It was weird because I was watching it and I was like, this kind of looks like if you basically made the part from Medal of Honor when you're storming Normandy Beach, but with Roman soldiers and they don't have guns, they have swords and shields. And it's all like, instead of you don't have guns and what's that, projectile combat, you have like swords and shields and melee combat. But then from like looking at it, it wasn't clear like if you have complete control of your character when you're moving or if you're just going down some corridor to like the next set of characters that you're fighting, and then like the button prompts are just like CQ
It's like all
QTEs.
one big QTE.
So that was kind of so I don't know. I was not impressed. Which was like my theme for this conference. I was one to be blown away, dude. It's like after that their first part of the conference, it's like, oh, we have all these exclusives, blah blah blah. I was like, well, one of them better blow me away and be like, I cannot live without this game, and I was buying Xbox One for it, blah blah blah. So I was like, balls in your court, Microsoft, and I was just like, wanting them to prove to me the whole time I watched this, and Rise in a Rome did not do that for me. So yeah,
It's true. But I mean, yeah, that game I wasn't particularly interested in, so.
And I thought it might maybe be like Batman, where like or the Batman Arkham games where you can fight multiple people and you just push buttons and then it does like stuff. But since I haven't got to play it, I have no idea if that's the case. So. And then the next thing they showed was the Rare game that they're like, oh man, Rare's totally working on a game, and it's Killer Instinct.
Which I mean, I guess was like, because it's one of those things that even if you're like not interested in Killer Instinct, it was at least nice to see that, you know, they knew their fans were kind of like, okay, we've been waiting for Killer Instinct for like ever now. What's going on, Microsoft? And they finally, it's like Rare's finally on it, especially since people have been wondering why they even bothered buying Rare if they weren't going to do anything with them. So it's like it was kind of good that they, I guess, showed that for like fans of the series or whatever, because it's like, okay, guys, it's time. If you don't give us something now, then there really was no point to all of this. Like, what's going on here, Nintendo? So, or not Nintendo, Microsoft. Sorry. Whew. It's all that disappointment coming back to haunt me. But it's like, yeah. So it was at least good to see that. I was never like a huge fighting fan or whatever, but I did like play Killer Instinct a couple of times back in the day, but. It's nice to see that they at least, you know, tried to give their fans something they wanted. And we're just like, screw you. We don't care what you want. You'll buy what we make you. So, that was nice. So, that was nice at least. So, I'll give them credit for that.
Yeah, and that was exclusive too, but there was no release date given for it.
Well, of course it's exclusive. Microsoft owns them, so can't be multi-platform. But, yeah. And then they show, I think, like a demo of like the lady getting her butt kicked by one of the people that played or made the game or something. So that was embarrassing, but kind of amusing. But that was later on when they were showing like the Upload Studio stuff. But I was amused. But But I was hoping somebody would.
It'll be over quick RPG.
Yeah, like,
That was so wrong.
it was. He was just. He's like, if you just sit there and take it, it'll be. I was like, this is getting really awkward right now. But that was kind of funny. So.
I was like, oh my, did you really just say that? You did.
He did. I was kind of hoping they would do like a combo breaker in a thingy, but they didn't.
They did one combo breaker.
Did they? Crap! I must have missed it. Huh, weird. Because I know when they were showing like the trailer, they were doing like the ultra combo and everything. It's like,
while they were talking about the video recording crap.
Oh, okay.
Or something.
I must have like
in the back.
I must have only been half paying attention. Because I mean, I was like, PS4 has a share button, so I don't even. There's that, but we'll get to that later. But yeah.
And then they showed a game from Insomniac, Defection. Ted Price was all up on stage, and he was like,
"It's funny because when he first mentioned, he was like, this is a studio I've always wanted to work with, and it was like the studio that made Ratchet and Clank. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? It's like Insomniac would never do that. Why would they do that? So I was all kind of, but I guess like after I kind of half expected it to happen after like the EA Partners thing, and they seemed like they were trying to do like multi-platform games anyway now, and I was like, Sony should have bought them when they had the chance anyway. And then they could have had like Insomniac and Naughty Dog like under their little umbrella. And it's like you can't go anywhere because the rain's all acidic and it'll burn you, and you must stay here. So, but yeah, they lost their chance. So now Insomniac seems like they're just gonna go full on multi-platform now.
And they showed this game called Sunset Overdrive. That's like, I don't know. The way he described it was that you could take stuff that the community had made and implement it into your game, but then in the trailer it was some dude who was like
doing a lot of free running and
yeah, he was on this zip line shooting these zombie-like monster thingies, but they weren't zombies, they're just like these monsters with like no skin and big teeth.
Yes, that's a usual feature for a thing.
No, I said no skin.
Yeah.
Well, they seem skinless, whatever. So
they were weird looking.
And he had like a shotgun, but then he like was getting helped by this dude that shot records out of his gun, and then he switched out his gun to shoot energy drink weapons, and it made this explosion. And I was like, okay, interesting, weird, whatever. And then like the art style was very cartoony and stuff.
But I don't know. It's Insomniac, so probably will be good in some way, shape, or form. Well, I mean, what can you do? I think that's the
other thing I noticed while I was like watching all this stuff was that like all the stuff I'd seen all the stuff I've seen over the course of like all the conferences I watched this morning was that like there wasn't anything that like just that I saw that just struck me as like this looks mediocre. Like everything was basically above average and beyond, and there's like I guess that's like the consequence of like all the publishers dying out is only the good stuff remains. It's like every game I see, I'm like, oh, that's pretty good. Oh, that's pretty impressive. So, you know, at least there's that. And then, Forza Motorsport 5, that was weird. Because, like, they had a car coming out of the stage, and it's like, there's only two of these in the world, and they talked about, it's the McLaren, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, I don't care about this car. And then they talked about how you could use, like, the cloud computing to have your drivatar be driving in the game while you're not playing it, and then you come back and you can collect the credits and stuff that's done while you haven't been playing the game. And I was like, whatever. I haven't played a Forza since like the second one, so
I've never played them before, so I don't know.
So it's like I'm not missing anything by not playing this game, and I mean it's cool and all with all these features, but I'm not interested. So yeah. Minecraft Xbox One Edition. They showed that it's basically Minecraft with better multiplayer and bigger stages. I think that's what they said. So,
I was never like a big Minecraft fan, so I never even played them. So I can't be like, "Yay, Minecraft on the 360 or the Xbox One or something." So. Yeah.
And then they showed Quantum Break, and I was like, "What?" Because it's really weird because, yet again, they introduced it as live action or heavy live action elements in this game, and then
the concept sounded kind of. I don't know if like the concept just sounded strange because they were like something about watching a TV show and then it's like you can change the way you play based on what show you're watching or something. And I was just like I don't really understand what they're going for. The game did look good though, so I mean it was pretty.
Yeah,
I'll give them that. So it sounded like it would be. So I'm not completely sure what.
Especially going from like the first trailer where it's like this girl and she's like, I have all these powers
Yeah.
and there's a boat and a bridge and
it's just like
I was like, okay, I'm trying to connect the dots
like,
and none of these
WTF,
dots
guys.
correlate at all. I'm just confused now. It's like, okay, whatever.
It's like this connected dot thing just looks like a scribble. That's not a picture at all. So yeah, because they showed off like something where apparently time was broken or something, and this guy went to go question this chick, and it's kind of cool that the whole scene was like all frozen, and they were walking around and it until he like touched her and stuff. So I don't know. It seems like it might be an interesting concept, but they didn't really go into detail about it. So.
Yeah, it was extremely abrupt because it ended very fast.
Yeah, it's just like so.
It's like, oh, well, we've been talking for a while, but there's an explosion, and that's it.
It's like, so what exactly is this game, though, guys? Like, yep, next game. So I was like, wait, like that didn't explain anything to me. So
yeah, that's the other thing. Like all these demos were just like boom, 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 boom. There wasn't like a really long stretch of demo. Actually, I guess the Battlefield 4 one, but that's when my stream crapped out. So I missed that one.
I think they might have just took that whole lack of games during their reveal to heart thing, and they were just like, okay, they want games. Give them games, and they just like showed them like a stream of them, and it's like, here, take your damn games. So that's probably why we didn't get a lot of details going on with some of the stuff, which is kind of disappointing. But at least on the bright side, we do know they are making games. That is a bit more reassuring because you would not have known that based on their reveal conference. So it's like it's okay. You can't actually play games on this console. So. I feel a little better now.
And then they showed this game called D4, which is this episodic murder mystery, and it was like some dude on a plane investigating stuff, and it had a very like cel-shaded, cartoony look to it as well. And I was like, oh, that looks pretty cool, but no real details about anything, so no release date or what. So, And then they showed Project Spark, which was interesting because it had a heavy use of smart glass in the demo, because like the guy was on his tablet and he's like, oh, let me show you how simple this would be to make this stage with my friend here, and they made this whole stage, and then there's this rock that fought, well, the rock, and then it turned into a giant robot rock, and then he had a giant fight with a bunch of goblins, and there was like a fire thing, and it was crazy.
I actually like this is like one of the games that I actually like interested in for their platform or whatever. So because I thought it was like a pretty cool concept. It seemed like it was a lot more user friendly than like games like Little Big Planet are, because it's like it takes a lot of. I think like with Little Big Planet, the interface and everything, it's like yeah, you can do a lot with the game, but it takes like a lot of tinkering and a lot of time and effort to kind of make something. But with the Project Spark or whatever, it seems like it's easier to just kind of make stuff and then kind of jump in there, because the game itself kind of helps you do it. So it may not be as I guess detailed or open as Little Big Planet could be. I'm not sure because they didn't like really go into that much detail about that game either, but it seems like it would be nice and user friendly for people who have it, especially since now the Kinect comes required with every console anyway, so you don't have to worry about buying it. Now you have your voice commands and stuff to help you make stuff and junk. So that was pretty cool. I would be interested in picking it up if I ever bought an Xbox One. So.
Yeah, it was very much like the Mod Nation Racer demo when they were just like making stuff out of stuff in the game. It was like a sandboxy, I'm going to make this on the fly and create all this stuff and then populate it with all these characters and have them fight and stuff. It was pretty neat. Oh, and then they showed the Xbox Studio, which is how you edit videos, So the lady came back on to play Killer Instinct, or wait, no, they came on to demo Killer Instinct because I think before they just showed the trailer, and this time she was actually playing it, and this is also when they showed like the smart glass stuff, because it's like this is where it kind of tuned out, because I was like, oh, smart glass, whatever. I don't have a smartphone, I don't have a tablet, so I was like, yeah, whatever.
Well, I mean, there are, everybody else in the world kind of does. So you don't. But I mean, I think it was that's another thing I kind of like about the conference as well, is that they were showing like some support for the smart glass thing. It wasn't kind of just like a throwaway thing where it's like, oh, we mentioned it before and we pretty much don't care about it anymore. It just exists. So at least like in some games that they were showing off, they were kind of showing like you could use it for different things like your inventory management and like calling in air support and all this other stuff. So it's kind of like it works, I guess, similar to how the Wii U tablet or the Vita's cross play with the PS4 would work, but it's just good to see that they're like supporting stuff like that, and it's just not just something they kind of just hurried up and they rushed to get out there, and then they're just like, yeah, well, we have it, so it exists. That's all that matters. So
yeah, they transitioned from the smart glass thing to the Xbox Studio thing because while they were playing, the dude that's one of the developers on Killer Instinct was all like, oh, let me make a clip of me beating the crap out of you. And then he did that, and it was weird, because like, he did it, but then like the way it was edited, it made it look all spiffy and stuff.
I think that was kind of the point taken.
I'm just saying, it's like, it was weird, because like, I never get to edit videos and like have them look that awesome that fast. So.
I think once again, I think that was the point they're trying to make. that you can make these videos and make them look all nice, and you can do it easy and quickly because you have the Xbox One and its upload studio.
So yeah, there's like a quick snippet of that, and then they showed that they had some partnership with Twitch. So I don't know. I guess that's a big deal. Whatever.
I think it's part of the streaming thing.
Stream your gaming, gameplay and stuff, and they were like playing a match, and people were watching it, and it was a similar functionality like what the PS4 showed at their unveil, when like you had the whole sidebar of like a chat thingy, people watching you while you played. So yeah, and then let's see. Oh, the last thing in that section. That section was that they're going to drop Microsoft points for actual money now. So,
which
goodbye.
Everyone was probably like, well, it's about damn time. Because, seriously. What the hell?
And then they showed Crimson Dragon, which is exclusive to Xbox One, but there was no sound. And people were making funny noises the whole time. And it was kind of embarrassing. But kind of funny. And then,
before you finish that, like the Killer Instinct thing, I had been seeing stories about it. Like, a lot of people were mentioning how the game was supposed to be launching with like one character, but the rest were going to be like DLC or something, which didn't seem like it made sense. But apparently, it's like some weird free-to-play model or something that they were going on. But I was like, that doesn't seem like it would be appealing for people to go through all the trouble of buying all this stuff. But I guess now they have real monies, they don't have to worry about buying packages of points. Now you can buy them all separately and stuff. So yay, monies.
Okay, so then they showed Dead Rising 3, which is interesting because it looks really different from the first two games.
It does.
And it's like, oh, it's not as lighthearted and whimsical and Japanesey. It's all these are Americans making it, and it's all dark and gritty and brown and shootery. And I was like, this doesn't look like Dead Rising at all.
Although it was kind of cool to see all those millions of zombies in the background, because it was just like, I guess you wouldn't be able to pull off the same thing with the current gen or whatever without it just being like them kind of just rendered in the background rather than actually being fully interactive, because it seemed like anytime, like any of the crowds you saw on screen were ones you can actually run into and, fight and stuff. So that was cool that they were able to have like billions of zombies on the screen now. So now you pretty much, it really is a zombie apocalypse because apparently that many people live in that small town, which, that is unfortunate for them. So, yeah.
And they said that it is a rich open world with no load times. But then to me, it's like, I'm really skeptical on if this is actually an exclusive. Because I remember Dead Rising, the first one, was a air quotes exclusive, and it came to the PC. And then the second one was not exclusive, so it's like, oh, I'll take a wait and see on this one. See if it actually stays exclusive from a third party. And then The Witcher 3 CD Projekt Red came out, and they showed a trailer, because they didn't really have anything else to show. So they're like, yeah, thanks for having us here, and here's a trailer.
Although, isn't The Witcher 3 multi-platform? Okay, I thought so. Okay, I was just about to say, I know, I don't remember them being exclusive. 'Cause I think, the second one was, though, wasn't it? It was like...
Well, you're an RPG, when you're Microsoft, and you can spend $1 billion.
Yeah,
you can be like,
that's true.
What can we put in your video games?
They do have money to spend.
Hey, you have a game. Show it off at our conference.
It's true. So true.
Here's the money.
It's like, even though we have PS4 builds for these things, we're just going to pretend like those don't exist. Here, have a few $1 million. It's like, thanks, Microsoft. Here's a demo. And or a trailer.
And they showed Battlefield 4 Second Assault, but my stream kind of crapped out here, so I had to like come back to it, and they're on some ship and shooting stuff and explosions, and looks like any other first-person shooters. I was like, oh, well, I don't think I missed anything, so, yeah. And they said at the end of that presentation that the first map pack is coming to the Xbox 360 first. I'm not even sure if like the Xbox or Battlefield 4 Second Assault is a standalone game on 360, or if it's also the Xbox One game, so... Because my feed crapped out, so I didn't really get that, but I didn't really care, so I was like, yeah, whatever. Because it's not a game on my radar. I'm not going to be playing that one. Tropical here, he'd know, but he's not.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tropical.
Way to drop the ball, Tropical. You're like the Nintendo of our podcast now. Hope you're happy. Yup, that happened. And since he's not here to defend himself, even better.
Let's see here. Oh, there was this indie game they showed called What Lies Below and stuff. I describe it, but I'm way too tired to like give any type of accurate description.
I wasn't completely sure what it was, because I mean, I know they said it was like supposed to be a roguelike, but I don't know if it was intentionally, like, because the character models look like really tiny with like a giant environment, so I'm not sure if that was just the way it looked because of how I was watching it, or if that's actually how the game's going to be, but it looked strange, you know. But it seemed like your usual dungeon crawler-y thing, so... I don't know. I don't play a lot of roguelikes.
And then, one of the dudes from Microsoft was out like, oh, dudes, we have like 4 first-party studios working on games as we speak, in secret, blah, blah, blah. And one of them is Black Tusk Studios, and we brought all these people to Vancouver, and they're so awesome, and they're making this awesome game. And they showed this really short teaser, and absolutely nothing happened. And they showed the logo of the studio, and I was like, what? I thought that was a total bait and switch, but whatever, so...
Wait, for what now?
When they showed the game with the person that was, like, rappelling down the building, and they kicked the person...
yeah.
And they're about to shoot something out of the gun, but it doesn't show what they shoot, and it just goes to the logo. So, yeah. That was pretty lame. Because they're like, man, they're so awesome. And they show the game, and they don't really show very much of it, if it's even gameplay. If it's CG, who knows, whatever. Or just a cutscene.
Because it almost seemed like one of those things where, you know, like how at the beginning of movies where a studio kind of does like this little animation and then their name kind of thing. That seems like what it was, as opposed to like an actual game. So I wasn't completely sure what was going on with that, but you know, yeah. And
then it was weird what happened next, because they showed like another trailer like right after it, and I like the whole time I thought it was like a new IP or just a new franchise, because you had this character that was wearing a robe and you couldn't see their face. And they're out in the desert and kind of looking like Journey, but not Journey. And then
yeah,
they pull off the top of their thingy and like this robot thing comes out of the sand, and they have this thing that they're holding. And lo and behold, it's Master Chief. But why would he be wearing that if he has armor?
That was kind of funny.
Whatever.
Yeah, I was like...
And it's like, oh, it's just a new Halo. Whoa, you fooled me, Microsoft. I thought I'd go this whole conference and not even see a new Halo game. But I should have known better because, yeah, Halo 5 on Xbox One.
Yeah, because it did almost seem like it was going to be like some new IP or something, but then they kind of like bait and switch. It's like, hey, what's going on here? What's happening? And then when you pull off the hood, I was like, oh... That's
yeah. Then I lost all my sense of I care about this game.
Yeah, because it looked like it was going to be cool at first, but then I was like, yeah, I'm not really into Halo that much because I've played like the first two, and I was like, eh. So I don't know.
And then they showed their price, and they're like, November worldwide, $499. So I was like, oh, that's not that bad.
Yeah.
Still higher than what I would pay, so I was like, yeah, I'll be waiting.
That actually made me like a little concerned for the Sony conference. I was like, crap, if they're on
yeah, me too.
I was like, that means...
I was like, I hope they're not this high.
PS4 might be like either $500 or $600 then, so I was like, crap. So I was really concerned then, but yeah, that just... But at least they did announce their price and release date. Because I mean, I think everybody was at this point. It was like, okay, guys, it's time. You're gonna have to. You can't just put it off because we all know the console at least is coming this holiday season. So there's no excuse. You just have to give us our release dates and prices so we can just be prepared. And yeah.
And then after that, they ended it with a presentation of Titanfall from Respawn Entertainment, and it's going to be exclusive to Xbox 360, Xbox One, and PC, but then I would say that doesn't mean it's exclusive, because if you have a PC, but you don't have a 360, you can still play it on PC, so it's not really exclusive to Xbox 360 or Xbox One, but whatever, right? I guess we're just cutting Sony out, right? Yeah, anyway, they showed that game, and it's all a giant robot and people with futuristic weapons shooting stuff like it's Call of Duty, because, whatever.
It just reminded me a lot of Warhawk, because that's what it seemed like to me anyway, because I was like, hey, you can jump into vehicles, hey, you can fight on land and stuff, so it just seemed like that's similar to me, or is it, I think Starhawk actually had mechs in it, so there's that.
Yeah, I was just underwhelmed, because I was like, oh, it's a shooter where you shoot people and stuff. I don't play games like this anymore. Do not want, do not care, pass, and...
It did look pretty, though. So.
Proceeded to just sit and stare blankly at the game while I played.
So, at least there was that.
And it had mechs, which is kind of cool, but then... Mechs by Westerners are kind of like Down syndrome robots, whereas Japanese robots are way more sexy and sleek. And I hope it didn't... I mean, no offense, dude. I mean, too late. I already said it. I'm tired. I'm not going to make excuses. I shouldn't have said that. Whatever. That's it. So,
the damage has been done.
Special place in hell. But, that's it for my thoughts on it. Do you have anything else to say, RPG?
I mean, I wasn't as disappointed as I was expecting to be, so there's that benefit, I guess. So good job, Microsoft, on not, screwing the pooch on this one, because I was fully expecting them to really F this up.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to call out Gamer, 'cause he's all like, you're gonna see something taken, and it's gonna blow you away, and be so awesome, and blah 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 blah, and I can be like, oh, Gamer, guess what, you're wrong, and yeah, disappointed by Xbox One, because there was nothing there that made me be like, oh, I'm gushing all over myself, and oh, so good, yeah, because, yeah, it didn't happen, so, face Gamer, until we meet to totally discuss this, and you can say I was right, and I can be like, yeah, I know, so yeah.
Here we go. Those two.
But, yeah, I guess that's it for what we thought about the Xbox One, or Microsoft E3 press conference. And we'll be coming back after this with something else and stuff.